First day back to school is today for 3 kids. I realized yesterday late afternoon that I haven't actually purchased a single supply. I hadn't planned a single thing out. And besides talking in some loose generalities of what we're doing for back to homeschool, that's kind of as far as I got. So ready or not, here we come. Heavenly Minded Home, and we have been sharing here in YouTube land for the past 5.5 years about our homeschool. That's what first brought us here, and we talk about all the homey things. So homemaking, homeschooling, homesteading, home discipleship, we kind of cover it all, just sharing through life and what the Lord's put on our plate and how we're doing it. But this is our first day back to school. We usually do this year-round schedule where we school for a couple months, we take a month off, school for a couple months, take a month off. And we like to take our big breaks in the fall and the spring when the weather here in North Carolina is just gorgeous and we want to be outside and not cooped up inside. So it works out great. But that kind of overall idea was to start our back to school today. Let's just start it off, starting in the month of August, let's just get to it. And then it was literally yesterday afternoon when we were just finishing up stuff and we were kind of busy. We got a lot going on around the old homestead, and I went, I've actually done nothing to prepare. I've made sure that so many things are done for the Heavenly Minded Homeschool Academy and all the things we're putting out to you guys. But as far as my things here for my kids, really haven't done anything. So I figured that I would share with you guys at least once a month about what we're doing, our goals and plans for the month of homeschool in our household, the way that we train up our children. So not that anybody has to do it like how we do it, but if this can be an encouragement to you all, something that you can pass along to other homeschool mamas is hey, it's okay, look and see how they're doing it, maybe get some tips and tricks, then that's what we are all about, all to the glory of God with a eternal perspective in our lives. So let me go ahead and share with you guys exactly what we are doing in our homeschool for the month of July with I'm not kidding, a very minimal prep time, as in whatever I did this morning while I sat down with my handy dandy planner that you guys can get it on my website if you're looking for something. Sat down with this and a cup of coffee and was let's figure that out. I did get their back to homeschool cinnamon rolls for you guys who have been watching through all of our homeschool years, and you guys can see them on playlists. I'll link them down below. We always do cinnamon rolls for back to homeschool, so I did run to the store and grab those really quick yesterday. So we did have our traditional cinnamon rolls. That was a win. But I sat down, I planned it. Everything I'm going to tell you about here, very minimal planning prep time, like what you can do over a cup of coffee and a cinnamon roll in one morning. Very minimal supplies. I'm talking very minimal supplies, very low budget. We do everything that we do for very low budget. I don't have hundreds and thousands of dollars to spend per child on our homeschool stuff. So we're very cost effective, and everything is whole child focus, child-led, biblically based. So that's what I'm going to share with you. These are the top 5 things that we're focusing on for the month of July. Willing to bet probably nobody else on YouTube sharing their back to homeschool curriculum pics and things like that, because I know these videos are everywhere. I have not seen one other person who's doing their back to homeschool month of August like we are. I think I keep saying July. I don't mean July, I mean August. Don't think anybody else is doing it like how we're doing it. Nobody I've seen anyways. So I'll just be the weirdo and put it out there and say, hey, this is what our family's doing. So I'm absolutely going to do videos this week breaking down specifically what we are doing for each child. So we have a kindergartner this year, a 4th grader, and a 7th grader. Our oldest just graduated this past summer, so I just have the 3 girls. So as far as nitty-gritty specifics for each age level, I will link down below playlists to things I've done before if you want to check out some additional resources. And then I will be sharing this week exactly what we're doing, exactly what we're using, and break it down in a little more detail. So you guys be sure to subscribe and turn on your bell notifications, and that way you'll see those as they come out through the rest of this week. So I'm going to give kind of like general family back to homeschool overview today, but details for each age level, each grade, you're gonna get those this week. I promise. If you have any questions, feel free to ask away. All right, number 1 in our goals and plan for the month of August in our back to homeschool here at Heavenly Minded Home, Family Bible Curriculum. Yep, you guys who were here last year, you know all about the Heavenly Minded Homeschool Family Bible Curriculum. I'm so excited. I believe in this so much. I've seen massive results with our children, and I know so many other families have gotten to enjoy this. And what we are doing that I got completely derailed on last year. I'll be totally honest and say we were doing great, and then our family life with extended family went sideways and kind of derailed the whole thing. I have an amazing team of theological scholars. You guys, these men are amazing, and even one of them, his wife, is going to jump in and help. So men and women are amazing, and they are going to help me so that we can get this completed this year. This is the Heavenly Minded Homeschool Family Bible Curriculum. This is what I do with my kids, and I just made it either in a book that you get off of Amazon or a printable that you get off of our website, whatever is easiest for you. We even have a digital copy for those who want like an online classroom. We're going through the whole Bible, Genesis to Revelation, in 5 years, because we're going through it slowly. Every day we have an Old Testament passage and a New Testament passage. We go through. We read the same passage all week long. We open up for discussion as a family. What stood out to you? What questions do you have, right? What is it? And then every day we have a fun little trivia that we get to play that really helps us go through the passage that we just studied, kind of look into it a little bit more and ask some of those questions, right? Why did that happen? How old was this? My kids love doing trivia type things. And so we figured this was just a great way to put together our Bible study each day. So this is for all ages, the whole family. I have some people that don't even have kids, and just as adults, they use this, but it's to be there and be something to say, let's look at scripture. Let's dig in. I don't want my kids to say that they're Christian because they grow up in a Christian home and they go to church once a week. I don't want my kids to say that they believe in Jesus because that's just what mom and dad say, so they say it too. They need to know the word. They need to study the word. They need to be able to give a stance for why they choose to believe and trust in Jesus. And so I want my kids to know the word. That means that if I start this at the very beginning, that we can have gone through the entire Bible a couple times before my kids graduate. And I mean, we're going through this with like a fine-tooth comb. I want to make it simple for any parents that maybe you haven't studied the whole Bible yourself. That's fine. We want to make this something that is simple to really help you start digging in. And so this for us is priority number 1 here with August Back to Homeschool. We will start in month 1 here, going through it. My kids did this last year, but it doesn't hurt to do it again. So we've got Old Testament study, New Testament study. We go through a psalm each week to really, I have playlists where it's been put to music to really help us just meditate on the Psalms. And then we also have a special area of practice. This month we are going over memorizing the Shema. And then there's also a memory verse that we work on each week. So super duper excited to pull these booklets out. I love them for my family, and if they can be a blessing to you and yours, then praise God, because I want my kids to know God's word. That's so important to me. And if you guys watch my video about setting your own homeschool philosophy, we'll link it right up here. This helps in supporting our ultimate goal. So therefore I know that we're on the right track because we're doing the things to support the goals in which we're trying to reach. So number 1 for us, Family Bible Curriculum. Back to homeschool August goals and plans for us, kind of going hand in hand with number one would be the Bible classes that we are offering in the Heavenly Minded Homeschool Academy co-op classes. So we have this co-op, I'm going to talk all about it. I'm telling you guys, it's because it's been such a blessing for us. This is why I believe in it, and this is why we share it with all of you. My husband and his associate pastor, his wife, they are going to be heading up 3 different classes. So that way we have Bible classes for kids of all ages. All of my kids are enrolled in these classes, and my oldest is actually going to be the teacher's assistant in the older kids class. And so I'm really, really excited about this because while I love sitting down and studying through and doing this, I also want my kids to dive into different topics, to have a place where they can ask additional questions and talk with other kids and really dig into the depths of their faith, right? These foundational elements. And so my husband is going to be teaching. He pastors A&P Home Ministries, and he's going to be teaching here in the Heavenly Minded Homeschool Co-op these Bible classes. And so there's a class each week for kind of the big kiddos. There's a class that meets twice a week for the teenagers, and they're going to be going through topics like foundational elements of the faith topics. And you guys can totally come join us. Classes start this week, but you can sign up. We have signups open throughout the end of the week. So if you want to sign up, you can come and sign up. And then his associate pastor, his wife, who her and I have been close friends since we were like 13 years old. We actually went to Christian schooling together. She is going to be teaching a class for the littles. So these kiddos are going to meet for shorter periods of time, but twice a week. And they're going to be going through, again, Bible stories and foundational truths of the faith focused toward those little ones. So I'm so excited that, yes, we sit down together as a family and we study and we read and we learn and we're active in our church and we're active in all of these things. But then it gives them a space with a different teacher and some peers where they're sitting down and they're looking at the core of their faith and they're learning and growing together. And so these co-op Bible classes, I'm just so excited for. We're going to be offering them every month. So this is something that you can do in addition to whatever you're doing. I really like the fact that with the Family Bible curriculum, we have like what we're doing at home every day, every week together as a family. But then they have these classes that they can go and join in where they have kind of a deeper discussion and different, maybe topical elements of the faith that these things, while they're separate, they can be building blocks for one another. So definitely the classes in the co-op aren't meant to be like the end all be all of your child's discipleship. But again, it's just a supplemental thing that you add to what you're doing. So that way we are growing and we are doing this. And of course, for all the co-op classes, you guys welcome, come enjoy. We want the parents to come sit in and to know what their kids are being taught and to be active. You guys can see our statement of faith. We have it linked on our website. So all of these things are so incredibly important. Nothing is more important than our children's discipleship and training them up in the knowledge of the Lord. And I'm super excited for our family this month, and every month you're going to hear me talk about it. We have our daily thing that we're doing as a family, but then they have these Bible classes that they will be in, that they will be digging into, they will be talking, they will be pulling up scriptures, looking at things from a just very much expository teaching standpoint. So super duper excited about that. Brings us to the third area of focus for our Back to Homeschool in the month of August. And again, it's the HMH Co-op where we offer reading and writing classes. The only areas that I require of our children would be Bible, first and foremost, reading, writing, and arithmetic. If we are growing a little bit in each 3 of those areas every day, that is a win for me. I pretty much leave everything else open to the individual child and what they are interested in. But of course, join us the rest of this week as I talk about the details for our kindergartner, our 4th grader, and our 7th grader. But for the co-op, we do reading and writing classes. The co-op is also on a 2 months of classes, 1 month of fun clubs type routine and rhythm. And so in the 2 months of classes, we switch between reading and writing classes. And my kiddos are in from the little tiny ones and Storytime Fun. And then I've got an intermediate reader and an independent writer this month. And so we have their books for that class that they're going to be doing. Check on that. And then I just simply picked up a notebook for each kiddo, and I've gone ahead and written on the first page what classes they're taking. So we have those just kind of organized and put together. And then they have these notebooks that when we do our family Bible, stuff, they can put their notes in here, but then anything that they're doing for co-op, they each have a notebook to kind of keep themselves organized. So co-op reading and writing, doing those classes for us this month, total focus here in what we're going to be doing. I love that you can use these classes as a supplement to what you're already doing. Or for us in some seasons of life, that's kind of all they're doing. They're working a little bit on their reading or a little bit on their writing. And the teachers give so many wonderful activities and things that we can be reading together. We can be digging in a little bit deeper together. And so me getting some one-on-one time with each kid, I kind of rotate through as one's in class, I work one-on-one with another, and then they go to class and I work one-on-one with another one over here. But it gives us that availability to work through the things that they're doing in this co-op class. It allows it to go on autopilot for me, and then I'm just working to support them there in their co-op classes, and they're learning so much and having such a wonderful time. So August, back to homeschool, we are HMH co-op all the way. And the kids are really gonna love this one, but for us, literally a goal and plan, a priority in our back to homeschool for the month of August is to have fun, to kind of ease back into the homeschool year and to really enjoy ourselves. We want to ease back into this. We want to still enjoy the bits of summer fun. I want us to kind of roll into this rhythm. And I did a video the other day about rhythm and schedule. You guys can check that out right up here if you're kind of curious how we're setting this up. But we're focusing on about 3 different areas here in the fun category. The first one would be some of our co-op classes. We offer some electives and our kids adore them. They are taking art classes with Miss Abby, and she's also doing a Minecraft club. And so our kiddos are signed up for kind of a mixture all thereof, and they cannot wait. They love those times throughout the week where they get to get on with the teacher and their friends and kind of work on different projects and do different things. And so they love that. The second thing for us would be, it's hot, and so my kids live in the pool nearly all the time. I honestly, minus my oldest daughter, the 2 younger ones, I can't even tell you the last time they took a shower because they just live in the pool all summer long. And so time every day to be out in the pool, absolute must. I mean, they're out in the pool in the afternoon, and then it's so funny because I'll be like finishing up in the barn, kind of finishing up getting all the animals put away, and the kids are back in the pool again. So, and they usually stay in until it starts to get really dark. So a lot of time in the pool. And the third one would be just our homestead critters. We've got new chickens that we have in. We have our turkey. We are now back to a flock of 30 chickens, which is super exciting for us. We've got the Great Pyrenees puppies that we are continuing to train and boundary train here on the property. And then we have a really new exciting critter that's gonna be here soon that is a huge just like investment piece for the property and the maintaining and making it more regenerative, and super excited about that. So if you guys wanna know about homestead stuff, leave me a comment, let me know, because the kids are excited. I'm gonna have a hard time keeping them out of the barn. And so I don't want to be cramming in so much like book work and activities and things for them that they're not getting to go out and enjoy and learn hands-on with the animals that we're bringing into our homestead. So that's a big one for us, for them to get the time there. The 5th and final focus and goal for our family, for our homeschool in the month of August, that I think we're already kind of been a little bit different because we are a little more minimal, a little more simple, very much unschoolers, child-led. Literally one of our goals for homeschool is to have fun and enjoy and play with critters and swim a lot, right? Like those are things for us. Don't think I've seen anyone else doing this, literally setting it as their goal and their plan for their homeschool, back to school shebang, okay? This is literally our goal that we talked about, me and the girls, thinking about and kind of planning about what we wanted to do when we started back our new school year. And we decided that we are going to give ourselves the month of August to literally make it our school's focus to work on a deep purge and clean of our house. Yes, that's literally what we are building into our homeschool plans all month long. Now, we've got a few different classifications of things here. We've got a lot of ADHD going on in our home, and we have different, from me to 2 of my daughters, we have some different struggles when it comes to kind of balancing our ADHD and keeping up on things or being really overstimulated by things. And so going through and really having a very minimalist approach to the things in our home is kind of a big deal to me. That's why I love simple living, essentialism, any of these things, because I think it's really important. And I also find it to be very reflective of scripture. And so we've been kind of having some struggles in our home of, as the girls are getting older, where they fall on that spectrum. And so I really, for most of this year, I've been having an issue. Me and one daughter have been having an issue with how much stuff is in the house. Her and I get both very overwhelmed when there's a lot of stuff and it's not being kept up on, and it just exists places. We can't think, we can't work. It makes our skin crawl. Where two of my daughters like lots of stuff. They have no problem with lots of stuff. But one of them is getting older and starting to realize, wow, I really struggle to keep up with all of this, and it becomes very stressful. Well, she finally hit the point of, I can't do this anymore. I need to get rid of things. Whereas me and the other daughter are going, yes, please, like we can't take this any longer. And then the youngest, she's just a totally different bag of things there. So we won't even get into that. But we said, you know what, how about we take the month of August and literally make it our priority in our homeschool to deep purge and deep clean the whole house, every room. Let's go through every single room and put in those steps that I outlined in my ebook, Minimalist Home, which you guys can totally get. It's here online. I'll link it down below. We're going to go through every room, and we are going to do that. I don't know if you guys would like to see that process. I don't know if that would be something of interest to you. So please just let me know down in the comments if it is something that you would like to see. But that is literally, I didn't buy a bunch of curriculum. We didn't buy a bunch of supplies. Literally the notebooks and the books the kids needed for co-op and co-op. Like that was all that we have done. That's all we're doing. The rest of it, the focus of everything else, is going to be in tackling our home. It's hands-on learning for my girls. It's them knowing things that they need to know throughout the rest of their lives as being keepers at home and being able to care for their home and be good stewards of their stuff. And we're going to go through every single room. We're going to go through my simple steps and do that in every single room. We're going to take everything that is excess to us, go donate it, and let it be a blessing to someone who needs it. Then we can clean everything really well. And then it means that the stuff we have is truly the stuff we need. And we don't need to be storing up our treasures here on earth, because then it's just a bunch of stress and time and all the organization, and then you're constantly cleaning it up and it just becomes frustrating. So I'm very excited for that. Again, if you guys want to see more about it this month as we go through it, we're happy to share, but that is going to be kind of, we have like the important stuff. And then this is kind of that big one of the big thing we are focusing on, the big thing we're putting our time and attention on is going to be on tearing this house apart and putting it back together in a much better way. So friends, that is our master plan for the month of August with our Back to Homeschool 2023-24 school year with our 3 girls, kindergarten, 4th grade, and 7th grade. Super excited to get digging into these things between the family Bible curriculum, the Bible classes, the co-op classes, just having fun and enjoying the critters that are coming into our homestead, and then tackling this house, getting all of the things out that need to be out, getting everything that needs to be in very clean and tidy and put together. I've noticed that when I kind of do this process on a seasonal basis, it really does set us up. And then I don't feel overwhelmed. I'm not behind. I'm not dealing with all the stuff. I'm not constantly trying to keep up and figure it all out. I'm not, that even that mental load of trying to process all the things that you can't possibly get to. It removes all of that stress, and clutter causes chaos, and I don't want that in my home. So very excited to get all of that tackled, have it all done, and then we will be ready to go into the fall enjoying the classes and the things that we're talking about and we'll be planning for. And of course, I will share that all with you guys. So hang out with us the rest of this week while I talk about exactly what we are kind of doing and the reason why we're doing what we're doing with the individual girls for the different grade levels, kind of our approach to these different ages. If you guys want a little something else to watch that I think you will totally enjoy, absolutely you should binge out on these videos up here, because these are all related to the same topic to really help you dig in to the heart of your homeschool. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Bye, friends.